Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Here we are with new movie Avatar, The Way of Water. North of 10 years after the occasions of the main film, the film starts with Jake Contaminate portraying his unobtrusive and serene life as head of the Omadakea tribe and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Nedium and Loeke and his girl Tuck, his embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from effortlessness Augustine's lethargic Gnostic symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora yet couldn't be shipped to Earth in cryostasis as a baby. While Jake can acknowledge Bug as an embraced child, Neytiri is doubtful of him given his human beginnings. Be that as it may, every one of the youngsters blend and mingle well with one another, including Insect, whom Kiri is tender with despite the fact that he is a human. Insect doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Gnostic's culture and customs. They carry on with an ordinary existence until one day they notice an unusual star in the night sky. Unfortunately, they understand it's a RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another super working base once more, making critical obliteration Pandora. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Gnostic's body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Accordingly, Quaritch can't recall his destruction on account of Jake yet is simply ready to remember the occasions previously and his vindictive mission to dispose of Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Loeke, who ignores Nedium and is anxious to show what him can do as a Gnostics fighter, attempts to help Jake in fight however is injured. Jake saves and teaches him to not jeopardize his own well-being by being wild. That evening, while at the same time watching out for his injuries, Neytiri serenely reminds Jake to be not excessively unforgiving with Loeke, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the security of his kids. In the meantime, the retaliatory strike on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a pursuit mission to kill Jake. During a fun-loving endeavor, Jake's kids alongside Insect investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are in the area investigating the site where Quaritch finds his human remaining parts. An attentive Loeke sees their presence and rapidly illuminates Jake. An engagement follows and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's kids. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the greater part of them, yet Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to pressure data about Jake from Bug, whom rejects. Evolving technique, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore, to make sense of more about the Gnostics in return for his opportunity on his side. Despite the fact that unagreeable and uninformed about Quaritch's genuine mission, Insect shows Quaritch Gnostic's culture. Quaritch is additionally effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the risk, Insect's information on his whereabouts postures to their security and furthermore, to stay away from another calamity, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to exile themselves from the Omadakea tribe and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Metkayina, a coral reef island whose group and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's oceanic living space. Jake gives his central mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Metkayina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the faction boss Tanawari and his significant other Ronald, who is dicey of them at first. Be that as it may, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen criticize Jake and his youngsters for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is intrigued with the oceanic existence of Metkayina and fosters an otherworldly bond with the ocean and its animals, while Loeke gets to know Cyria, the little girl of tribe boss Tanawari and his better half Ronald. While adjusting to their new climate, Loeke gets into a battle with Cyria's sibling Aonung when he pokes an unrefined fun at Kiri and him of their blended human genealogy. Jake reprimands his child for his way of behaving. At Jake's demand, Loeke gets back to apologize to Aonung and his companions. Nonetheless, they captivate him to an excursion into the domain of a perilous ocean hunter, the Akula, and leave him abandoned in vengeance. The Akula attempts to go after Loeke. Nonetheless, Loeke is saved by and becomes friends with Payakan, a Tulkan, a savvy and pacifistic cetacean species whom the Metkayina think about their otherworldly family. Loeke can speak with Payakan through marking and eliminates an old spearhead from the monster's right balance. Upon his revisitation of Metkayina, boss Tanawari, who became mindful of Aonung's deceiving of Loeke, requests that the previous apologize to Loeke. Nonetheless, Loeke assumes the fault himself, winning Aonung's companionship. He is likewise informed that Payakan is a pariah among his species. In the meantime, out traveling to a branch off of the Tree of Spirits, Kiri joins with it to meet her mom, yet experiences a rough seizure. She is recuperated by Ronald, yet when Jake calls Norm Spellman and Max Patel for help, Quaritch can follow them to the archipelago where the reef individuals reside. Carrying Bug with him, he lays hold of a whaling vessel which is hunting tulkuns to collect their mind chemicals for making hostile to maturing cures. Quaritch starts to fiercely scrutinize the native clans about Jake's area, bombing that, he arranges the whaling team to wantonly kill the tulkuns to draw Jake out. Loeke intellectually connects with Payakan and discovers that the tulkun was projected out on the grounds that he conflicted with the methods of his species and went after the whalers who killed his mom. At the point when the Metkayina learn of the tulkun butchers, Loeke takes off to caution Payakan, trailed by his kin, Syria and Aonung. They find Payakan being pursued by the whalers, and Loeke, Kiri, and Tuck are caught by Quaritch. With their youngsters at serious risk, Jake, Neytiri, and the Metkayina set off on a mission to face the people. Quaritch powers Jake to give up, yet seeing his spirit sibling endangered, Payakan assaults the whalers, setting off a battle which kills the majority of the group and basically harms the vessel.